Hi everyone, welcome to another video. Today I'm gonna be doing a daunting task. I'm gonna be showing you a comparison of all my gold and silver materials. Let's say there's a mix between watercolors, gouache, inks, crayons. So I'm gonna be showing these and I hope that you enjoy. I hope it will be useful for you. I will be taking this chance also to ask you to please consider subscribing to the channel so you can see more videos like these. You can give opinions about other things that you'd like to see or tutorials and things like that. I'm always sharing things that I find out interesting about art materials, places to buy art supplies and techniques. So if you subscribe to the channel, if you like the videos, if you comment, that all of those things will help me to grow the channel more, to bring more content to more people, and that will help everyone. So please do that, and don't forget to subscribe, to hit the notifications button so you know when I'll be posting my next video. And let's start. I'm gonna be showing you more or less the materials that I'll be using for this comparison. So I have here some inks. Here I have Winsor & Newton. Here I have Sennelier. I have acrylic ink from Liquitex. Some watercolors from Sennelier that I also did full review on a previous video. I'll leave it a card here if you are interested in watching. I have these two tiny Holbein I bought long time ago. I hope they're still good. And Schmincke's Aqua Bronze. What else? I have a gouache from Holbein as well. And some Coliro Fine Tech. Here I have two sets. This one that is the most popular gold one. And then I have also this Galaxy one that has another gold and a silver, so I'll be swatching those. And what else? I have Kramer pigment that are, I think, my favorite metallic watercolors. Some koi, Sakura koi, some Neocolor 2, or sorry, Neocolor 1 metallics, and one Handmade watercolor. And I think that's it. That's a lot of things to go through, but we'll go in parts. I have prepared here already a swatch sheet, and let's start now. I think I'll start with the Coliro ones. They're one of the most popular ones. So I hope that you can see well, but in the end, after I paint all the swatches, I will wait for it to dry, and then I'll do a close-up so you can see the effects. I'll be doing also tilting the paper at an angle so you can see better the type of metallics. And let me just show you the paper I'll be using. Is this Aquapad. It's an inexpensive watercolor paper. And let's start. So the first thing you want to do if you are using Coliro watercolors is to drop some water in the pans before start using them. It's way easier to get the pigment like that. So let's see. Maybe I'll also, yeah, it's a lot of materials here to get around. So I have here the names of the colors. I made some labels, and I think I'm gonna paint them first, and then when I'm done and they are dry, then I'm gonna label them with the brands and the color names and all of that. So we'll start with the first golden here. There's loads of videos on YouTube about coliro and swatching, so I'm not getting into much detail for that. The objective is just to see how they compare to each other. So I'm back. I went to grab a palette to test the other watercolors. So far, I like both of these. The Kramer and the Coliro, they're great quality. I have no complaints about them. I have used them good few times. Now, I'm gonna pour a bit of the Sennelier Gold. One thing about Sennelier is because they use honey as a binder, so it can happen sometimes that you get a little bit of binder separation. I got a bit here. What I would suggest is, if it happens to you, you take a toothpick or something, a needle or something thin enough, and just mix it in the tube before pouring more. Because if you do just mix what you poured here, it's possible that at the end the painting will come or whatever you paint with comes out sticky and it looks like it never dries properly. So I hope this one doesn't separate. Yeah, a little bit, but we'll see. So I have the two Sennelier. Now it's been years and years that I bought these. I have never touched them since, so I don't know how they are. They're very thick, as you can see here on the palette, compared to the Sennelier, but I think it's okay. And the silver. So here we go. I think that I may need to do exactly what I said here with the silver, because it doesn't look like it's properly mixed. Yeah, so I usually use this thing that I forgot the name, for bookbinding. Hole puncher, not sure. Yeah, so as you can see, there was a lot of binder separation. I will show you the difference between the paint that I just mixed now and what came out of the tube at the beginning. You see here? This is what came out of the tube at the beginning, and this is the paint properly mixed. So it's good for you to see, so you can have an idea how it's supposed to look and what to do if it doesn't look like that. I think it's very common happen this with honey paints on tubes. As far as I know, Sennelier only has metallic watercolors in tubes. Not sure if they have plans to release them in pens as well. I just realized I should have left the space here for the gold. I was keeping the silvers here separate, but oh well, got distracted. So now is the Handmade watercolor. Okay, so I am finished with the watercolors now. Let me put this aside. Oh, sorry. I still have this little sample that I got of a handmade golden watercolor, and I wanted to include it because I find it's a very beautiful tone. And I'll leave also the link here for the shop. It's a Canadian girl that is located now in the Netherlands. I think, let me check the name. Claire Cheese Studio. You can buy dot cards like this from her shop. They are very generous dot cards. You see, you can choose the colors that you want. She'll prepare that for you. It's a really lovely shop with nice colors. And she sent me this as a sample the last time that I got this dot card. So I wanted to include it here as well. I'm gonna just add a little bit of water. This is called Honey Gold. It's a very nice orangey gold color. And it activates pretty easily, you see. I hope you can see. Just one drop of water. It's very rich and the coverage is amazing. Her paints are really, really nice. Look at this. The coverage is so good. It's opaque. It doesn't take a lot to get uniform coverage. It's creamy. It's just really, really nice paint. Now I feel like buying more from her. So I still have some more watercolors to show. I have this set from Sakura Koi. I got a while ago because I wanted to have neon watercolors, and this set happened to have also the metallic one, so I said, why not? I'm gonna try this as well here. And I probably have to pre-wet them as well. I'm gonna keep them here. I have never used these metallics, to be honest, but I think they're pretty weak compared to the other ones I've been using so far. I apologize, I didn't see that I was out of frame. I'm sorry for that. So this is the first one that I've painted from the Sakura Koi set. This is the second gold. Now let's go for the silver. This is not even, I wouldn't call this a silver, it's more like a metallic white kind of. Yeah, so that's it for the Sakura. I just turned on the LED lights here in my desk because it's kind of cloudy now. I have only a skylight window, so I hope that you are able to see well the colors. And what else? So the last thing, kind of water color related, that I'll be swatching is this powder here from Schminke. This is called Aqua Bronze. They have different colors. The one I have here is the rich pale gold, and I'll show you this. It's kind of a jar with a very, very fine metallic powder that you can use in a few different ways. So one of the ways you can use is you are painting something with a regular watercolor. You can dip your brush here in the little jar slightly, and then touch the painting that you are doing, and then let it spread. That is one way. You can also mix that in with the paint before painting, or the way I'm gonna use it now, just mix it with water and then paint. The thing is that this needs to be mixed with water, be it a color, a watercolor, diluted watercolor, or just clear water. But if you just use it like it is, it just won't stay and it will smudge as soon as you touch it. So you need to mix a bit with water. That's what I'm gonna do here. It's quite expensive. I think it's like 15 euro or something, or 13 euro for a little jar like this, but this probably will last for a lifetime because you need very, very little for the effect. It's very rich. So if it's something that you like, using metallic watercolors, or if you want to paint something that will have that look of gold foil, I think this is a good product. And like I said, it's very rich, so you don't need a lot. So I'm just gonna take a little bit here with my brush. Look at that. And I'm gonna put here on the palette, just add a tiny bit of water. It's so magic the way this thing works. The first time I saw it, I felt like I was kind of doing something like an alchemist, you know. It reminds me of mercury, the way it looks like. It's this liquid metal look. It's very interesting. With this one, I would say you are better off tapping like I mentioned before, because if you drag, you get brush streaks or brush strokes. But even so, I'm having a bit of a hard time here getting a uniform coverage with this. I think that the other times I used it, I used to cover an area of a painting that had already an underpainting, so it wasn't an issue, you know. But now, for example, I don't know if it's coming across on video, if I look from certain angles, I can see the speckles, you know. I can see some parts are still, the white of the paper still showing through. Certain angles it looks okay, the other angles it looks not totally covered. We'll see when it dries how it looks. But from above you can see it's quite reflective. Now I am going to go for the, I'm gonna show you the tube here. This is the Holbein gouache, rich gold. I have it here in this little palette that I made with, I bought the little palette and then I curated a selection of colors here, and one of these is this gold. So I'm gonna try to reactivate this. It will be a good opportunity to see if it reactivates well, because I haven't used yet this one in the palette in particular. Let's see. Doesn't look too bad. Yeah, it reactivated pretty well. Consider that I dried these paints on the palette a while ago. Haven't touched them since, and everything looks fine, even though I got a bit of a stain of paint on my fingers as usual. So here we have all the watercolors, the gouache. Now I think I'm going to go for the Winsor & Newton inks. These are also really nice. I'm going to swatch the gold first. With this, you need to really give a good shake before you use it, because they separate. You will see here there will be like a grayish liquid at the top and all the pigment will be underneath, so you really want to give it a good shake to get a nice coverage. I think I shook enough. Let's see. Really nice gold, quite unique. If you look at the other kind of gold tones that I have here, this is more of antique gold tone, more on the greenish side. It's very nice. I actually remember now that I just put an order with Arte Miranda for a few paints, and I think I got some metallics from White Nights to try out. There was a specific gold that I thought was looked really different from the golds I have, even though I have a lot of golds, as you can see. And yeah, I should be receiving this soon, so I think if it doesn't take too long, I'm gonna add up those by the end of this video. When they arrive, I'll just swatch them underneath here. But for the time being, I'm gonna keep going with the swatching of the things I have here. So now it's the silver, and I'm gonna show you how it looks. You see, you have the pigment here underneath and all the liquid up top, so you want to shake it to get those mixed properly. See, that's how you want it to be. Let's go. So these were the Winsor & Newton. I think apart from the need of shaking to mix the pigment with the liquid, they offer a very nice load of pigment. Nice coverage also, apparently. I'm not sure about silver yet, but they're very sparkly. They are very affordable also. I think here they cost around 6 or 7 euro for the bottle. And now I'm gonna show you another ink. This is Sennelier, and this I bought because I saw a video here on YouTube where she was swatching, and it looked really nice. You can see here at the bottom, and this also needs to be shaken because you can see it's there's a bit of separation. I think with all inks, mostly the ones with metallics, you need to give it a good shake before you start using them. These are great for calligraphy as well, if you're good with a deep pen. These look super nice. Look at that. This is a very unique silver. I'm not sure I didn't get other metallics from Sennelier, but I think that maybe the gold they have was not, didn't seem very special to me, but this silver, it's really, really unique. I will show after, but you can see here the tone is different from all the other ones. It's kind of this antique silver tone, and it's very sparkly. I may need to check what are the other metallics they offer for the inks. What else? I have one Liquitex gold. I have other metallics from Liquitex, but I only have this gold, and I don't have the silver one. I don't tend to use this as much because I find it's quite thick, and for the type of application I use it for, they tend to dry not as fast as watercolors and such. Takes a bit longer because it's a bit thicker. It's an acrylic anyways, so the good thing about it is that you have the pipette, so you can use that to apply it as well. This is more of a yellow kind of gold. One thing that I use it for that I remember now, and I really liked it, was to do Christmas cards. A few years ago, I was painting. I did some drawings, and I was painting with Ecolines, and then I'll just drop a little bits of this gold while the Ecolines were still wet, and they dried very nicely. They just spread around, so it can be interesting also for mixed media. Now I have only the crayons, the Neocolor one. I think what I'm going to do is to use the bottom part of the page. I'll leave these ones here empty, so when I receive the order from Marta Miranda, I can still include the white knights that I got here. So I'm gonna do the dry media here underneath. First one is this gold, and this, like I said, Neocolor one, it's the non-water soluble one, so you can also use with watercolors. They won't get dissolved. It can be used in a technique of resist, for example. Let me see if you can see that. Okay. This is a type of metallic that is more of a sheen that you would see at an angle. Not as sparkly or shiny like the other materials. It's kind of a greenish gold. I'm sure that on the screen it looks more like a green. When I show it at an angle, you'll see the metallic of it. Next one, it's called dark gold. Okay, now I have two silvers. Actually, this one is called silver. I'm gonna do it here. By the way, I forgot to mention, but these little swatches, circles here that I did using a stamp that I bought from the shop of Ingrid Landgraf. Sorry. Irid Landgraf. I'm so sorry. I'm not thinking very straight. I'm talking and doing things at the same time. So Irid had on the shop set of rubber stamps, and one of the rubber stamps in her set was this one. I'm not sure if they're still available, but I'll link below to her channel, or you can check also her videos and other things she has in her shop as well. So where did I stop? So here was the silver, and this one is called ash gray, but it's a type of silver as well, so I'm gonna swatch this also. I wasn't planning to add this to the swatches, but I thought, why not? These are also metallic supplies that I have. These are Prismacolor pencils. They came in a set, and yeah, I'm gonna, since I'm swatching some dry media here at the bottom of the page, I'm gonna add those two as well. So let's start with the metallic gold. What I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do half of the swatch very pressing harder with the pencil on the paper, and the other half I'm gonna do it with a lighter touch to see the difference. I have to say, I'm pretty impressed. I have this for a very long time, and never thought of using them for artwork. I don't know why. I always have the impression that dry media, mostly pencils for metallic tones, I always think, okay, this is gonna be disappointing, so I just go straight for the watercolors. But I have to say, there's really nice tone. I'm gonna maybe start using them more. I finally managed to finish swatching all my current gold and silver art supplies or mediums, and what I'm going to do now is let them dry properly, wait a few more days for my pack to arrive, fill it in with the White Nights gold that I got, and then I'll come back to you to show you the results so you can see better the difference between the different supplies. See you soon. So I'm finally done with the swatches. As you could see, I received my new White Nights metallic colors this week. I took the opportunity to try to swatch them here as well. Now I am going to do a close-up for you so you can see better how they compare. One thing you will notice is this over here was the Schmincke's Aqua Bronze Pale Rich Gold. As you can see, it's almost totally gone with time of moving the paper around and touching. You can see maybe. So I wouldn't advise to use this one with water only. but rather to mix it in with another color, even if it's a very pale tone of yellow or any other color you wish to mix with the metallic powder. But only water like I used, it just doesn't work. So here you have all of the swatches that I did for this comparison. So you have Coliro fan pack here. I also added here, I showed you in a little snippet, I decided to add the 2 other gray metallic watercolors from Coliro that were in that Galaxy set. Even though I'm not sure I could consider them silver, them. So this one is kind of a bluish silver. This is a very dark one. It's more like a gunmetal type. And what else? So I also tried to use the aqua bronze, as you could have see in the video. I tried mixing it in with some watercolor, and it still didn't work very well. I'm not sure if you can see here. This is the aqua bronze. If I do this with my finger, I still get residual here, so it's not fixed. I'm really not sure how you can use that in a way that it remains in place. I would assume that maybe Gamma Arabic would do the trick, since it's a binder used to make watercolors. I don't have here, so I cannot say if it would work. Probably yes. I will try maybe later on to buy some and see, but as it stands now, aqua bronze with water only, or even with watercolor, the pigment still stays floating on the paper. If you touch it, it will go on your hands. And I was looking here on the bottle if there was any instructions, and the only thing it says is mixed with a little water, and that's exactly what I did. But as you could see, the one I mixed with a little water, it went completely off. So I wouldn't really recommend this for beginners or people that are not used to working with a loose pigment powder. I'm probably one of them. Even though I followed the instruction on the bottle, it didn't work. And I think that for the price it's really not worth it, considering that if you have to use Gamma Arabic, you have to spend more money also buying that if you don't already have it. So I would recommend going for something that is already fail proof, like the Coliro watercolors that are easily available on Amazon. What else? I really liked the Clarity Handmade watercolor and honey gold. It's a really beautiful paint, very opaque, very nice coverage, reflective, very easy to work with. I would fully recommend going to her website. No, her, well, I think she has a website as well and an Etsy store, and then you can buy in either or and see what she has available at the moment. And what else? That's it. The white nights that I added at last, they arrived. They are really not that reflective. I mean, the light silver or silver light is quite reflective, but yeah, I like a lot this silver dip here, even though it's not super shiny or sparkly. I think it's different from all the rest. If you see here, this is the deep silver. And then the gold also, that is almost very lightly metallic. I still like it because it's a different type of gold. It's a more deep and muted tone, so they're all interesting. And yeah, apart from the aqua bronze, I think all of these, they have their merits, you know. I really like this one as well, and the shellac sennelier calligraphy ink. The silver one is like a two-tone silver, so it's really sparkly, has very interesting effect. But all in all, I think it's a good exercise to see the differences, how they are easy to use, what the coverage is, and all of that. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. Please, if you did, give me a like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and I'll see you in another 2 weeks. Bye.